It's pickup truck day today on the Dan the Wheelman YouTube channel, and with me for the occasion is the 2021 Ford F-150. But it's not just any Ford F-150, this is the Powerboost model, which is basically Ford speak for hybrid. I've got a gas engine here, plus an EV motor as backup, and that's the first time Ford's ever done a hybrid pickup. It is the most powerful F-150 in the lineup so far. They haven't announced the power figures yet for the Raptor. I'm guessing that's probably going to be a little more than this, but there you have it. It's got more power than the V8 does, which is really, really cool. And there's lots of really cool capability features that we're going to go through as well for the rest of this video. So come along with me as we have a look at the 2021 Ford F-150 Powerboost. Doesn't have the look. Well, I should say so. There's 11 different grille types. You can have this cool blacked out one. I like that a lot. Got these nice black wheels here. Great red paint. Doesn't look hugely different, I have to admit, though, from last year's model. The headlights are different. You got some new wheel types, got some new colors as well. But it's a pretty handsome truck overall, that's for sure. And I guess the tweaks that they've done with the headlight, namely this DRL right here, is kind of giving it a little more kind of oomph when it comes to styling on the F-150. So I think it's a nice truck overall. It's definitely a handsome truck. I really like those black wheels, plus the other various black trim bits you get as well. So you want to know about tech? Well, I'm going to tell you about tech. There's lots of it. It all starts with this massive display screen. This is 12 inches big. Standard size is 8 inches, but this is huge. You've got your Apple CarPlay on here, Android Auto, and you've got all sorts of really neat features. You've got your Pro Power Onboard, which is an onboard generator, which I'm going to talk about more later on in this video. Your various towing kind of aids and assists, including Pro Trailer Backup Assist, which lets you turn this knob to help back up a trailer instead of using the wheel. It's a lot easier to do, especially for beginner towers, which I have done before, and I do consider myself a beginner tower. You've got 18 speaker B&O audio, digital gauge cluster. This backup camera is, that's a forward facing version, but this backup camera is massive, as you can see. There's all sorts of huge amounts of screen space on here. The only thing is, it seems not perfectly well integrated. Like, why is this little plus button here cutting into the overall display of the backup camera? And when you go to CarPlay, as I'll show you here in a minute, when you go to CarPlay, it's there, but it's got all this white stuff around it here, plus there's a black bezel. It's just very kind of, it's like they haven't quite used the space they have here to as much, to its utmost of its abilities, I guess. It's very responsive, this touchscreen. It's very intuitive. I like the Sync 4 system. It just could look a little bit better, I suppose. I've got, of course, 2 high, 4 high, and then I've got 4 low as well. 120V, regular 120V port as well as the cigarette lighter there too. Dual level glove boxes there. All sorts of really, really, really cool stuff in here. Lots of room. And plus you've got your park assist system. Hit this button, it looks for a spot. As soon as it finds one, it tells you to stop. You hit neutral, and it does the rest for you. Pretty good for such a big vehicle like this. So to answer your question, yeah, I would say it has the tech. What about the practicality? Well, again, Ford has done well here. Lots of really, really smart features. The big ad for 2021 is the smart folding power folding shift lever here. Actually, I know that sounds kind of weird, but basically by pressing this one button right here, the shift lever folds into a nice little kind of cup holder sized storage area here, and then you can flip down the center console to make a fully flat loading surface or work surface, or maybe entertainment surface if you're watching, maybe a funny movie on your iPad, for example, or if you're having your lunch. So that's kind of really, really cool. Although, is it complicated for the sake of being so? I mean, Ford has used dial style transmission selection before. Couldn't they have just put a dial on the center stack here and had this thing fold flat anyway? Well, I talked to Ford about that, and apparently, according to them, their research shows that Ford drivers like to have, or pickup drivers, I should say, like to have a kind of pistol grip style shift lever, which is their exact wording. And so that's what we have here. But what about just having it on the steering column here too, if you want to free up space in here? Well, you can get a steering column shifter on some F-150 still as well. But again, Ford sticks by its guns. Well, it's pistols anyway, because it says that its buyers, most of them, want a pistol grip shifter. So that's why I've got this here. And when it's not folded shut, you can use the area that kind of stores the shift knob as, a bit of a cup holder or storage area, I guess. Not that there's a lack of storage in here. In addition to that cool flat load service, you've got a flat floor in the back as well. Or you can deploy an unsecure storage bin too back there. I've got a big, huge bin right here at the base of my center stack, which I guess is probably where the wireless charger would go if I had one. I didn't mention this in the tech portion, but I don't have one. You have to option up, I believe, to the King Ranch version. Sorry about that banging. I've got some tools back there. Anyway, the King Ranch version to get that. So we don't have that option here, but still lots of places to store your wares. You got 2 pockets in the door here, which one can be used for a sunglasses case, which is what I'm doing right now. You've also got the sunglass holder up here too. And also on higher versions of this vehicle, you've got fully fold flat, I think they call it max fold, front seats. So not only can you work in your F-150 now with this nice flat surface here, and not only can you eat in it, you can sleep in it too. So if you want to live in your truck, the F-150 is the truck for you. Well, ask and you shall receive. Might not seem like much, but these doors here provide access to the Pro Power Onboard generator, or PPO for short. I've got 4 120 volt plugs here. I've got 1 240 volt as well, and they can be used to charge, your various job site tools. Tools like a circular saw or a sander. And if you have any battery operated tools, they can be charged as you drive, and they sit in the pickup bed, so you've got that option too. They can be used to charge your television or your deep fryer during your Seattle Seahawks tailgate party, or they can be used to charge a small house or village. Well, maybe not a small house or village, but this truck that I have here does have the 7.2 kilowatt PPO on it, which is the biggest one that's offered, and it only comes on the hybrid because it requires the hybrid's battery to be able to function properly. The base model of the PPO is a 2 kilowatt version that comes in on pretty much every gas truck. It has an option if you want it, and the base version of the PPO you get on the hybrid truck is a 2.4 kilowatt version. Really, really, really cool feature. It's available with the 5.5 foot or the 6.5 foot bed. It does not come with the 8 foot bed. And more than just be able to charge all your devices or your small village, it means that you don't have to waste precious bed space with a generator of your own, or a third-party generator, or a separate generator. That's especially important with a 5.5 foot bed like this. As for the pickup bed itself, it's great. This is a work surface right here, which is really, really nice. We've got a ruler here. I've got clamps here for my various C-clamp stuff like that. Awesome. Hooks on the side as well. I've got a spray-in bed liner too. So it's a pretty handy pickup bed. Lots of room for accessories and rails and stuff like that as well. And plus this great work surface here. And of course, you've also got Ford's really, really good bed access system. Hit this button here, which is on the leading edge of the tailgate. Step comes down, pull the handhold out, and you can climb into the bed with ease. So, well done here. Does it have the power? Well, as I mentioned in the intro to this video, this is the most powerful F-150 you can get right now, with 430 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. That's more power than even what's made by the V8 version of the truck. Of course, when the Raptor power figures get announced, whenever that's going to be, of course, that's probably going to be a more powerful vehicle. But for now, this is the most powerful F-150 you can get. It's fed to all four wheels through a 10-speed automatic transmission. You can shift the gears on your own with this little kind of thumb button here, which I'm probably never, ever going to do. I guess if I was doing more off-roading, this is the FX4 package after all, so, you know, different suspension tuning, slightly higher ride height, and so on. I might use the plus-minus manual mode a little bit more, but as of right now, it's too awkward. If it had paddles, I might use it more, but who's going to get paddles on a pickup truck? Let's be honest. I should say, though, that while this is the most powerful F-150 currently available, and as far as we know anyway, again, we'll see what happens once the Raptor's power figures get announced, it's not the most capable necessarily in terms of hauling and towing. The 3.5 liter EcoBoost, for example, the turbo EcoBoost motor, that's the really popular one for the F-150. That one tows around 14,000 in similar configuration to this. This one tows about 12,700, and as far as hauling goes, this one hauls about 2,100 thereabouts, whereas the EcoBoost hauls about 3,200. So you are losing practicality. Most of that has to do with the fact that there's the extra weight added by the hybrid system here. So when it comes to gross vehicle weight rating, that's going to eat into that total a little bit as well. So you want to keep that in mind. Still very, very capable, though. I mean, that's still 12,000 pounds, still plenty to tow a trailer and so on, but just something to think about when you're considering your F-150 pickup. Rides well as well. It's nice and quiet, which I really, really like. And of course, this being the hybrid model, it's going to be quiet because a lot of times you're running on just EV power. In fact, apparently, according to my trip computer here, I've driven, of the 60 kilometers I've driven, 19.5 of them have been in electric kilometers, which, does that mean it was in full EV mode during that time? Not sure, but still good to know. I mean, that's a third of the time. So that's nice to have. It's not a plug-in hybrid or anything. It's just a regular standard hybrid, but it's nice to have. And of course, it's a bit of a sneak preview, really, because as has been quite well documented by now, the full EV F-150, which I believe is going to have plenty of input from Rivian, is coming up soon as well. So this is kind of a step towards that, is this hybrid version of the F-150. All kidding aside, though, while a lot of people that drive pickups, they don't live in their truck, they do spend a whole heck of a lot of time in here, and Ford has really, really taken that to heart, obviously, with all the features they've got in the 2021 F-150. This has become a mobile office if you want it to be, because it's got all the tech, including Wi-Fi hotspot, and all the practicality stuff. It's a work truck if you want it to be, because of the Power Onboard, plus the workbench style rear tailgate. Got the great power of the hybrid system, which is nice. Like I said, the most powerful F-150 that they make. So lots of really, really cool stuff going on in summary with this new F-150, especially at the hybrid level. And considering that to get a hybrid, it's a little more expensive, but I think a lot of people are going to gravitate to that because they just like the idea of driving a hybrid, saving some fuel, plus you get the better, more powerful Power Onboard generator option as well. So lots of really cool practicality here. Doesn't look all that different from previous, inside a little bit more so than outside because of that huge display screen you talked about before, but is a thoroughly modern pickup from Ford, which is probably exactly what they were going for, and if they were, job done. Thank you for tuning in to this review of the 2021 Ford F-150 Powerboost. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. If not, no hard feelings, of course. You can follow me on Twitter at Dan the Wheelman and on Instagram at Dan the Wheelman as well. So thanks for tuning into this video, and until next time, sayonara, folks.